Hello, this is Rod Ovid with another Take 5, something we bring to you each week, Monday through Saturday, for the Rod Ovid Facebook page and for Logos Institute of Biblical Studies. Have you ever had someone in your life that just hits your hot button all the time? Or for some reason, they just do not like you, and they let it be known? You try to fix it, and there's no reconciliation. They just do not like you. They despise you, perhaps. There are those they just seem to go out of their way to trip us up. Perhaps you know someone that gets pleasure out of seeing you fall. Unfortunately, we do come across those scenarios from time to time. It could be on the job. It could be in the home front. It could be a nagging illness. It could be all types of things that just seem to be persistent, and they seem to come after us, and there's nothing we seemingly can do about it. David knew what that was like, and he wrote a psalm that I think just about every one of us can relate to. It's in Psalm 55, and it says, "Listen to my prayer, O God. Do not ignore my plea. Hear me and answer me. My thoughts trouble me, and I am distraught at the voice of the enemy, at the stares of the wicked. For they bring down suffering upon me and revile me in their anger. My heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death assail me. Fear and trembling have beset me. Horror has overwhelmed me." Oh, that is such a dark, gloomy place, and yet we dwell there at certain times. And this psalm doesn't sit alone. It's a lament psalm, and unfortunately, there's probably more lament psalms than any other in the book. And the psalmist begins by saying, "Kasab, listen to my prayer, O God. Do not ignore my plea." And the kasab, it's that leaning in close, it's that cupping the hand to your ear and listening intently. And the psalmist here is crying, "God, please lean in and hear me. I have no one else. Please hear me." And when he expresses his fear and trembling in verse 5, "Fear and trembling have beset me," he uses the Hebrew word rude. And rude means to ramble about, to pace, to be distraught. And the picture is like a caged lion. Have you ever seen one, or a tiger? They are so unsettled, disoriented. It shouldn't be that way. And we get caged by these individuals or situations or scenarios. And after he says rude, he says whom for horror. Whom. And that word pictures someone making a lot of noise, an uproar, a disquieted scene, something unsettled and agitated, disturbed. So in the beginning of this lamenting psalm, David just lays it out and said, someone is really, really bothering me. And we know from history that it was someone very close to him. Someone he trusted was betraying him, and it caused all kinds of grief. And after he explains the scenario and where his heart is at, he comes up with a scenario, with a solution that so many of us jump to. If I had the wings of a dove, oh, that I had the wings of a dove, I would fly away and be at rest. I would flee far away and stay in the desert. And he even puts a Selah after it. I would hurry to my place of shelter, far from the tempest and storm. And how many of us have thought that in the past, and perhaps even now? But like the pattern of most lamenting psalms, he seems to come to his senses, and he writes another solution. Flying away isn't going to settle the issue. Flying away isn't the answer. And in verse 16 he says, "But I call to God, and the Lord saves me. Evening, morning, and noon I cry out in distress, and he hears my voice. He ransoms me unharmed from the battle waged against me, even though many oppose me. God, who is enthroned forever, will hear them and afflict them, Selah. And this classic verse 22 and 3, cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous fall. But as for me, I trust in you. And he uses that word, batak. It's someone that trusts in their military defenses, in one's leaders, in one's friends. It's to have confidence in something, and in our case, we trust in God. As for me, I will batak. We need to do that. So whatever's bothering you, whatever scenario you might be in right now, quietly take it to God and say, God, help me patak. Help me see your strength and the trust in it. And when we do, we will certainly have a blessed day.